This is Record Royale, where we throw two albums into the ring with one another and see which one comes out on top. I was actually thinking that. I was like, what would, like, if one of us didn't click record and we were like, screw it, we'll upload the episode anyway and the people can fill in the gaps. Fill it in with whatever they want to say.
Terrible content.
The people that
Pretty funny, I reckon.
Yeah, choose your own journey episode. Record your own part and become part, and then we'll pick the best one, and then
Now
we'll
that's an
upload
idea.
that.
Literally just that Black Mirror episode where every path ends in someone dying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Adam cries in every single episode. Like, I'm so up for that.
That can be the
gotta find your way.
episode. That can be the Halloween episode. Choose your own journey, but no matter which journey you take, you die.
Adam dies.
So be wary.
That'd
Be
so
wary.
good.
Oh, sick. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the pod. I'm so excited for this week's episode. I think I just redlined a bit. I'm loud. I'm excited.
Loud and proud.
We got the lovely man, Darren James. He's here. He's talking 2 albums. Hey, Darren,
Yes, hi.
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I was going to say good morning, but good at any time. Good drive, good Betty buys, whatever
Whatever you're
time
doing.
you listen to a podcast. Yeah. No, I'm well. Thank you for asking, Will. I also help. I hope everyone else is quite well as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Very
going
well.
G.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the 2 albums you've chose today, we're very keen. Definitely one of them is like my all-time favorite band, and then the other one is like all-time favorite album. And yeah, we're doing Arctic Monkeys' debut album, whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. And the Strokes' debut album, Is This It? Now, Darren, when we said, hey, Darren, do you want to come on the pod? Pick 2 albums that you want to do. I guessed which 2 albums you would choose. And there you were like, I'm thinking 2 classic debut albums. The Strokes and Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is.
I hate that it was that
Exactly what we
predictable, but
said.
honestly, there was no doubt in my mind they were the 2 albums. It was just like both albums just are huge for me, like on a personal level and like musically as well. And I don't even know. Like I had some second thoughts yesterday. I was like, oh, was this just 2 like? I get it. You're a white male who's lived a suburban life, but also
Indie sweetheart.
indie sweetheart, whatever. Buttons already done up, like. But I don't even regret it. They're just 2
Not at
classics,
all.
and if you don't like that, well, I'm pretty sure you're wrong. To be honest with you. So,
And,
Yeah.
and if we're gonna prove you wrong, otherwise we had these 2 albums to do anyway. So like, if you didn't choose them, we would have done them at some point.
They were coming.
yeah, perfect.
Just like absolute certainties, we had to do them. Darren,
Yeah.
we were saying before recording, we were like, well, for me, you can like pinpoint, like there was 1 year in my life where I'm pretty sure I only listened to this album. It's like year 9, 2012.
Oh,
Only listened to Arctic Monkeys, and like you were saying before, when you like something along those lines with the Arctic Monkeys, wasn't it?
yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same year. Maybe I was in high school, but I just remember like they had other material out, but I did not care. It was just like I just discovered the Arctic Monkeys, and I didn't want to ruin that by listening to something else. And to be fair, at the time, it was probably like Humbug, something I didn't really understand. So I was just like, no, I'll listen to this one album 6 months straight. I'll know every single word. I'll sing it in the British accent, even though, you know, I don't even quite understand why he's got the accent, where they're from, what he's even singing about, but it's all I listen to.
Yeah.
And it just put me down this deep, dark hole of just like indie rock.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
that was this album, yeah.
We all went down that.
Yeah, I think everyone's been there. That was
And then
it.
you cover it, you play in a band and you cover one of the songs.
Yeah.
Like,
One
it's
of the
always
songs,
best-
Brad.
All
I
the
bet you look good on the
songs.
dance
All the
floor. It has to be.
All the songs. All of the
Have we mentioned this on the pod before? How, Brad, you guys covered 4 Arctic Monkey songs in one high school
there was a
lunchtime
scrap.
session.
Yeah. There was a scrap dep that will never see the light of day that we talked about it on, I'm fairly sure. And
Arctic Monkeys and the Red
yeah,
Hot
I
Chili
think he
Peppers.
played 4 or 5 Arctic Monkey songs in a row.
You just
They
see
weren't all off
Just
this
all from
album,
the first
but
2
most
albums?
of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I would love to see some footage.
Oh,
If
God, I
anyone's got
should have
it.
recorded. I actually distinctly remember that day. It's one of those days I can remember. I was eating a sausage sandwich, just like, go boys, just up the back. Oh, what's the next song? Arctic Monkeys. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
But I loved it because at the time it was peak Arctic Monkeys. I was going to
Exactly.
say, it's like, can you guys like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be high school years, but I can pick one band that I just religiously listened to for each year in my high school. It's like year 7, year 8, it was Metallica. Year 9, Arctic Monkeys. Year 10, Billy Talent. Year 11, Blink-182. And year 12 was Violent Soho.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah, and then after that, it's
Mine
just
would be
like
quite similar.
everything. Do you
Mine
guys
was-
have that at all with any
Mine was
bands?
Arctic Monkeys for like a fair few years. Like I
Yeah,
reckon,
for sure.
because my mum was a fan of the Arctic Monkeys. Weirdly enough, so she like used to play it all the time in the house when it came out. And I remember loving it as a kid. And then once I started to figure out what they were actually talking about, like going out and stuff,
Getting
then I
drunk,
became like
yeah.
re-obsessed with it again.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
I think that's me literally right now with this album just because of this. So obviously we'll get into the lyrics later, but the Arctic Monkeys album like lyrically is straight up a night in Newcastle. Like that is exactly what it is.
It
And
is,
it's-
eh?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
listen to it and I think that's me, or like that's not me, but I wish it was, or that's someone who's told me a story about this happening. It's excellent. But
Yeah.
year 7 was Iron
sure.
Maiden because I hung out with the year 12 boys and they told me like
Maiden.
not
Iron
the cool
Maiden.
year. Not the cool year 12 boys, like the year 12 boys while you hang out with the year 7 type thing. Showed me like The Trooper by Iron Maiden. So I was kind of into like that, Metallica Iron Maiden thing year 7 and 8.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Iron
Then I went full like
Maiden.
scores from movies for like 3 years and didn't really listen to music and then came roaring back with like Last Dinos,
Oh yeah,
Arctic Monkeys and all that sort of stuff. And I'm still quite deep into this, like however many years later.
Nice.
Oh god, it's been a long time since I graduated.
What
high
were your
school.
favorite movie soundtracks?
I think anything Tim Burton was very strong, and
Yeah.
also just like all the old like 80s bangers on Quentin Tarantino's movies. So like anything from Pulp Fiction, just like
yeah.
Girl,
Bad.
You'll Be a Woman Soon.
Oh,
like
what a
just
track.
all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So into that, and then I don't know why. Mum's like, "Why do you like this stuff? Like, it's been dead for 15 years." It's like, Mum, I swear to God, it's not a phase. And it was, and she was
Get off my
right.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, am I wrong in
That's funny.
saying, did you say Iron Maiden at Soundwave? Who was the band you
I saw
Yes.
Iron Maiden at
Yes.
Soundwave 2012, I think.
That
no,
was it.
2011.
That was like
Amazing.
my whole life at that point. I built up seeing Iron
Were
Maiden
you
at
there?
Soundwave 2010.
Where?
Yeah,
20
Queens of the
yeah.
Stone Age played, Rob Zombie played, and I remember
Yeah.
finally seeing Iron Maiden. And because I was so young, and I didn't really like them that much, though I thought I did. I left halfway through the set. Like
Same. Hey, the traffic was busy. You had to get out of there.
absolutely beat
That's
the
my
traffic.
th-
and
that's
miss
my
all the
thought
best
process.
songs. But you know, my whole life
Yeah.
it built up to half a set, and that was it. That's where I was
Legit.
at.
It was a long
Yeah.
day as well. So, like,
Brad,
we were
you-
out of there.
Brad, didn't you meet Slash?
I've met Slash.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
My biggest claim to fame.
There's a photo of it. We
Put that
gotta
in my
find the photo. We gotta
What?
find the photo.
We've got to find the face swap of the photo
How
as
have I
well.
never heard this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
so I've met
how?
Slash. I got a good
how-
mate who just got the opportunity to meet him, and I came along for the ride.
How did he like handle
great.
your presence? What did he smell like? What did he talk like?
I did not handle
Was
his
he
presence very
smelly?
well at all.
Do you smell like
Yeah,
alcohol?
he's like 5'3". Like I was,
What?
tall, I was
Really?
tall as him. Yeah, because he has that big top hat and he looks like he's pretty tall. But I was about the same height in year 8 or whatever it was.
An illusion.
And I remember I couldn't even speak when I saw him. I was just like, hey,
Hey, Mr.
yo,
Slash.
yo, Mr. Slash.
Oh,
No, I was not like that at all. I was so scared. I shook his hand. I was like, yo, that's about it. But we got a photo. And yeah, there's a really funny face swap that we got to find with me and my mate Bryce. And with Slash in there as well. I've got Slash's face on my face.
You should make that your profile
Hilarious.
picture. Just a pic of you and
I
Slash.
should definitely bring it back.
Yeah, we
But
gotta
yeah.
find that pic.
I was about to say, Darren, you were talking about, year 7, year 12 stuff. You went to Cardiff High, right?
Cardiff High, yes.
Cardiff High, yeah. I was about 2 weeks off going to Cardiff High.
Yeah, right.
Because
And then-
I was about to go there because at my primary school, that was its like feeder school. But my dad was
Yeah.
working at St. Pius at the time, so I got to go there.
Fair enough.
But I can't imagine like if we both went to high school together.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be on the podcast right now.
We'd be traveling the world. That's what we'd be doing, probably.
Weird
Seen
direction. to take
Iron
that.
Maiden in Sweden.
Iron Man cover band. Yeah, crazy.
Darren,
crazy stuff.
what have you been doing musically and all of that? A quick little breakdown of music and stuff.
I played drum. I mean, I don't know how much detail I need to go into, but I've played drums like probably for the last 5-6 years in the local scene, if you will. Couple of bands, one band like blatant rip off of the Arctic Monkeys. That's exactly why these albums have been chosen. Another band was like a good friend's band playing drums in like a kind of like dream pop, completely different direction, but more like the Strokes. So that's where that comes into it. Yeah, I've been doing that for the last few years, and that's been pretty cool. And we've done some fun stuff, I guess. And now I've moved to a different city, and I work more on like the radio side of things, which is just basically playing the Arctic Monkeys and the Strokes, even though they don't deserve any radio play because they've had enough in their time. But yeah, so I don't know what you wanted from me with that question, but
No, that was perfect.
Honestly, way more than what I could have even thought of in my head. So perfect answer. Thank you.
no worries at all. You're welcome.
Very good.
Yeah, brilliant. Should we get into the albums?
Yeah.
Let's get to the albums.
do it.
Get into the albums. All right, let's kick it off with the Strokes. We'll go chronologically. We have not really talked about the Strokes much in the first few minutes of the pod, but we shall get into it. Formed in New York, 1998. I'm going to butcher some of these names. Julian Casablanca is the singer. Nick Valenci and Albert Hammond Jr., the guitarist. All right, Nikolai Fraiture, bassist, and Fabrizio Moretti. Are they like Italian New Yorkers? Because
there's a lot of culture there. I don't understand it, to be honest with you.
There's a lot of culture.
Yeah, Moretti is the drummer. Debut is this it? Debut album released on the 30th of July 2001 by RCA Records. So at the time they had a pretty weird mix actually. Foo Fighters, NSYNC. Shout out to our boy JT. Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears. It was produced by a guy called Gordon Raphael. After this album, he hasn't really done like too many big ones. He did Room on Fire, their album after this. He did half of First Impression of Earth, but they started a collab with another producer, and then he thought it wasn't working out, so he stopped and didn't end up doing that album. But this album, they originally started working with a guy called Gil Norton, who worked with like Foo Fighters, Pixies. Since then, he's worked with like Jimmy Eat World, Sum 41, Pulled Apart by Horses, Violent Soho. But they stopped working with him after a few songs because they thought it sounded too pretentious. And then,
True.
Hence the very like laid back kind of casual production on the album. Yeah, 3 singles. Hard to Explain was the first one, which NME, they're the British magazine, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because they freaking love both of these albums. Like, love them. NME gave this song the 3rd best song of the 2000s.
For last
it
night.
got 16 in the UK. They got really big in the UK, the Strokes.
Yeah, before
Yep.
America, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought they were just from the UK.
Yeah, you
Really?
literally think that, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. And here as well, like, of course here.
Yeah.
Darren, we said it every week, but like every single album that we've done just is bigger here
Than it is everywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the Strokes and stuff.
Well,
Maybe not them, but
pretty
'Cause
close. Besides the UK, yeah,
It
Australia's
went platinum
like
in
the biggest.
Australia, didn't it? I'm fairly
Yeah.
sure.
It's
No,
the sort
they're
of thing
crazy.
you wouldn't think Australia, like, I don't know, this sounds pretty funny, but like wouldn't get, so to speak, because they don't like, there's no like, especially live, they just stand there.
There's no real gimmick to them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's not really like high octane rock and roll like AC/DC or anything like that. It's kind of just like we'll stand there and people will walk away from our Splendor set in 2015 because they don't get it. I don't know. But I'm glad we got it in 1999 or whatever it was. So go Australia.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe it was just something different at the time.
Yeah.
Next single was Last Night, and the last single was Someday. The album peaked at number 2 in the UK, 5 here, and 33 in America, so not as crazy over there. So Rolling Stone magazine gave it the 199th best album of all time, and I can't say it. Tongue to NME gave it their best album of the 2000s.
Yeah, right.
So
Damn.
yeah, but what I did see though, so once again we're bringing up September 11 attacks again on the pod because it's affected another album. They removed the song New York City Cops from the CD release, but they kept it on the vinyl and obviously put it back on in the years later because they didn't want to, because they actually thought the New York City Cops did well on 9/11 and they didn't want to chuck that song on of them saying they ain't too smart.
Fair enough.
Didn't the album cover get changed kind of because of that as well?
It's just in America. So the
Yeah.
album cover is like the lady, the white one, and then they Just in America, because I have the vinyl, and it's the yellow one with like the blue stuff all over it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, but Just in America it got changed. It's
Yeah.
still the white one everywhere else. Cool. All right, pump through the Arctic Monkeys now. They're from Sheffield in England, so maybe Sheffield is like kind of similar to Newcastle, Australia.
It's a
I don't
steel
know.
city from what I've heard. Yeah, like it's a real like industrial type of place, which is hilarious. They're literally just Newcastle, Australia. Anyway.
Yeah. Alex Turner, Matt Helders, Jamie Cook, Andy Nicholson was the bassist at the time of this album, but he left following the release. Now,
Oh, imagine that. Imagine doing
who's the
that.
bassist now? Nick O'Malley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he might have got kicked out. Actually, wasn't like a mutual
That would
thing.
suck.
But now he owns a pub.
Oh, yeah, okay, no, we've got a winner.
Yeah. I actually read the other day. Apparently, he said it was soul crushing when he got kicked out. I was like, oh man, it's like I did not want to read that.
Oh.
So upsetting.
I don't want to think about the human element of like breakups in bands because it does suck.
Yeah.
And obviously he's crushed. I want it to be funny, not sad, but it's quite sad.
Yeah.
There is this one video that I've seen of them playing a show when he was in the band that he stopped the set to go do a piss and then he came back. I was like, what a bloke.
That's strong. That is
When he got
strong.
booted.
Yeah. I don't feel as bad for him now. That's,
Yeah.
I don't
Kinda
see anything
asking
wrong
for
with
it.
that. That's funny. That is genuinely funny.
Maybe if it was just the one time, it would be funny, but could have been a regular occurrence. And it would be
Every
annoying.
night during Still Take You
Yeah.
Home. Piss break.
Yeah.
So whatever people say, and That's What I'm Not was released on the 23rd of January 2006 by Domino Records. So I've done like Franz Ferdinand, Buzzcocks, Alex G. It's produced by a guy called Jim Abyss. He's worked with Kasabian, Adele, Bombay Bicycle Club, Temper Trap as well. Do you know like the story of the photo, the album artwork?
It's one of their mates, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in a band. Apparently they just gave him and his cousin or something like $100 and to go get pissed, and then they took the photo when he was pissed.
Yeah,
And
nice.
that's it.
So easy.
Very DIY, yeah, it's cool. There's only 2 official singles in the UK and everywhere else, both released before the album release. Of course, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, which are number 1 in the UK, and NME's 7th best song of all time. Shout out to NME.
Really,
Yep.
7th best of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Ever.
And then When
Wow.
the Sun Goes Down, which also got number 1 in the UK. Fake Tales of San Francisco was released as a single in America, which got to number 30 in the charts there, which was pretty cool. It became the fastest selling debut album in British music history in its 360,000 copies in the first week, and it's still the fastest selling debut album by a band in the UK. Do you want to have a guess who the new fastest selling debut album in the UK is?
Oh,
It's not a band,
Adele?
so that's
So,
a little...
Stormzy
Nah.
or something like that.
Nowhere near. Like, legit
not
could
that
not be
genre?
further away.
Yeah. Is Adele from England? Is she English?
Yeah.
Is she American?
She wasn't big
not-
till her second album though, so it wouldn't be her debut.
It's not Adele.
Oh, debut.
Do you want me to tell you? You're not going to get it.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
yeah, I've got no idea.
Yeah.
Susan Boyle.
Oh, I was just about to say
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
Shout
411,000
out to Susan Boyle.
copies.
She had like the voice of the X Factor or whatever, just to really like pump her up, sort of thing.
yeah.
That makes sense. It does make
Yeah.
sense.
It does.
It does.
Voice
But
of
like,
an angel as
That
well.
would have sucked
Crazy.
for her. That whole career was just like people being shocked. You just be like, yeah, thanks for your attention, but
I don't think
Hey,
it
she
would
would've got
suck
the
selling
check there,
400,000 copies in a week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you'd cop it for that.
imagine like a
Guess
JB
so.
Hi-Fi. I don't know, like Glendale JB Hi-Fi, and just people are lining the streets to go in and buy an album, like a
Did that
CD.
used to happen? Where
Bro,
they,
like,
I don't know.
Is
Yeah,
that? Is
I
it?
don't know.
I don't know.
This 2000,
Going into
Susan
your
Boyle
local
2009, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
I guess that's before Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like spend $27.99 on this new release, and
that's
just like
sanity.
everyone's doing
That's
it.
sanity.
Yeah, CD,
Sanity.
CD era.
Keep the receipt just in case you scratch it within a week. Like, what even is a physical sale? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, Arctic Monkeys debuted at number 1 here in the UK, peaked at 24 in the US. Mercury Prize winner, best album of 2006. Rolling Stone's 371st best album of all time. How do they compile a list of 500 albums? Like, is it one dude?
Yeah.
Like what's the go there?
Yeah,
Might
how,
stop
like,
reading these out. They're getting more ridiculous.
Yeah, who's like in charge? Is that like a person's job? Like they're just the list maker for.
I reckon there'd
various
be like
different-
10 like editors, and they all compile their top 500, and then they. No, it has to be more than 10.
When does the number stop? Like, when will it ever be the top 20,000 albums of all time?
Yeah,
And, like, how do you
wanted
decide now
to-
this album's the 16,655th best album to ever be, like, released? I don't know. I'd love to see it. Let's make it
that would
happen.
be good.
I
Does
swear,
it
like
rank-
Triple M did like a top 1,000 songs of all time, didn't they?
Or what?
Or like
wasn't it
Australian
all male?
songs of all time.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that was their,
probably,
like,
yeah.
that was their
Top
record for the Hot
10,000
100.
songs of all time.
After the first 100, they'd just be like, all right, throw it in. Doesn't matter. It's going in. Cold Chisel, again. Cold Chisel, again.
Back in Black twice. Let's go.
Beds Are Burning's at number 4 and number 305. See if anyone notices.
Far too many VBs in there by that point. No one will know. What a
Yeah,
song, mate.
last one. Last little fact. NME's 17th best album of all time as well. There you go. NME,
There you go.
loving the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys. All right. That's all I got. Should we get into...
The elements.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's go.
The lyrics. I'm going to kick it off with the lyrics of the Arctic Monkeys album. I didn't actually realize it was a concept album until maybe like I was like 18. So it was like 3 years after listening to it because I didn't really look into the lyrics. I just thought, hectic, guitars, cool, rock on. But then I love the fact that it's just like one night out,
Yeah.
one singular night,
They're pretty
12
different.
or 13 songs.
The two albums are pretty different lyrically. Like
Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys is pretty like literal.
Very
I'd
literal.
say.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's like storytelling, whereas a lot of the Strokes songs, it's very hard to figure out what he's actually talking about.
Or even saying, like, for
Yeah.
the most part, I reckon the first year that you just sing the syllables. Like,
Yeah.
there's no idea, like,
Yeah,
like
well, I
with the
was
filter in
looking-
his vocals. And
A few of the lyrics, again, shout out to Genius yet again. They a lot of like usually they'll have annotations and stuff, but there were parts in a lot of the songs where it'd say it's unsure of what the word
Yeah.
is, and like
or, like,
Julian,
what he actually means.
yeah,
Like,
and he
yeah.
like
Yeah.
over the
Oh,
years,
God, yeah.
Julian has changed his mind and like said different things to people, so like it's just all up in the air,
Yeah, I love that.
which is
Mystery.
sick. But also, yeah, I think the Arctic Monkeys take it as far as lyrics go.
Yeah, you got to
I
figure
think,
it out with the Strokes.
Yeah, lyrically, Genius, obviously a good friend of the show. They describe it as like a lager-fueled night out, and that is just, I think it's pretty perfect. Everything is
Yeah.
literally about being a bit
Yeah.
pissed somewhere. And there's one line that really sticks with me because I know I've seen it. Like, I know I've seen it at the front of the Kent Hotel, Hamilton, like 1 a.m. Well, like, I've written it down as well. These two lads squaring up, proper shouting about who were next in the queue. The kind of thing that seems so silly, but not when they've both had a few. Like, straight up, that little taxi bit at the side of the Kent, and just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nah, mate, I was in, like, you know what I mean? Just like, oh. And like, you
bro.
understand where they're coming from, but like, you're both gonna go home. It's all good, my dudes. Just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But perfect.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's so good.
Oh,
That's such a
This whole
good
album's
analogy.
just like that, eh?
yeah. I think
It's
it's
just crazy.
perfect for like, especially like when you're first 18. I remember getting right back into this album as soon as I was allowed to go to the pubs, just because it's like, it's definitely set in like the 18-year-old male's mindset as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, they
The
were,
thing is, I
weren't
don't
they?
think
They were
he
only
was
like
18 when he
17.
wrote it as well. So he's
Yeah,
a really
pretty
young
young.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's so good.
Sheffield.
Like lyrically, I just love it. It's just like it doesn't. Some of the songs lyrically, I don't think held up as much as what I thought they did. Not all of them, but like the whole arc of it, it's just brilliant. I love it.
I feel like
I
the,
never noticed how. There you go, Darren.
Okay.
All you, mate.
Yeah, so I think I'm lost by that confrontation we just had then. But I think one of the things that stands out that doesn't really hold up is probably like there's only new music, so that's new ringtones. But honestly, other than that, a lot of it still kind of rings true. Like they talk about, I don't know, like just like the fashion and stuff. Like once again, wrote it down because I thought it was too funny. And is it a look? But tucking tracky bottoms into socks into knackered Converse shoes. That's from Certain Romance, and I'm pretty sure that is an extremely strong look,
yeah.
and holds
God,
up today because that's an old fella at the pool table for sure.
but should bring
Yeah.
it back.
Classic.
Bring it back.
That might be the new thing.
Oh.
I reckon.
Fucking
be
shoes
onto
into
something.
socks. Love it.
Yeah.
Trackies into socks. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah,
I never
reckon.
realized how much the Arctic, like you hear about how the Arctic Monkeys, especially Alex Turner, loved the Strokes, but I never realized there's a lot of obvious influences on this album from Is This It as well.
Yeah, for
There's-
sure. They
there's
cover
like
they cover a song off it as well.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That's when I first heard the Strokes. I heard the Arctic
Really?
Monkeys cover it, and then I was like, I'll go check them out. And then,
Yeah, right.
listen to that album. But yeah, like the production on it is like the one thing that's just so obviously like, I don't know if they were influenced by Is This It, but like the low cost kind of,
Yeah.
Lo-fi, yeah.
but yeah,
The
that's like
time restraints
that's
and
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, like live recordings. That's the charm of both of these albums, I reckon. Just like
For
the
sure. Like,
authentic and raw.
The Strokes
Yeah,
were one of the
yes.
first to do that in like the early 2000s as well. Like all the indie bands that followed, like, well, as you said before, Alex Turner said he just wanted to be one of the Strokes in their last album.
Yeah,
But-
in
Yeah.
Star Treatment. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of set the tone for like all these other bands that came through after them, and all in New York as well. I reckon.
So
And,
did
what are you
yeah,
gonna say
did
about
the Strokes do that whole like that live recording thing as well? Is that on
don't
this?
know.
Is that what you mean?
I think so. I think they did.
Yeah.
Like not
'Cause, yeah, it's-
everything, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear it.
It's pretty cool how
Yeah.
like they just let the click come in and out in the Arctic Monkeys. I've doing some research on that. Apparently the producer like made like a variable click track for some of the songs where they would like in the demos they would let him like play it without a click, and then he would just add a click, like insert a click to the recording, and then they would use that click as for the master.
That's
So
crazy.
then it would feel live, but then like, and then he'd just like tone the click in and out because Matt Helders was so strong and so fucking consistent, which
Wow.
shines through in their live sets as well. Which
That's
is
sick.
pretty like, that's crazy, I reckon.
yeah, for sure.
Recording without a click and stuff.
Terrifying.
And recording all live
Terrifying.
together. Yeah.
Hey, Brad.
Insane.
Brad,
Yeah.
I've heard you say before. I mean, this isn't really an example of it, but you don't like that kind of reverby voice effect, do you, on a lot of songs?
Like the telephone effect, you mean?
Yeah, you don't like the telephone effect. The Strokes, there's a bit of a telephone effect on it, isn't
Oh,
there?
like
What did you
not
think?
not even, but it's not deliberate. I mean, it's not like intending to be like another voice, like a second voice, like a second thought. This is just
Yeah.
like that's just it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? I hate it when it's
sounding a bit
used in a
crap.
way of like a
Yeah,
thought,
like a
if you know what I mean.
for just like a second or something for like one word.
Yeah, I
in a
hate,
song.
like,
I
or
hate
like-
that as well.
Oh.
But if they're doing it for the whole song, then it's fine.
Exactly.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I've just got to like pull this one back real quick. Not that I'm running this in any way, but like I wrote it down and I just think it's so funny. When the sun goes down, it's going back to the Arctic Monkeys here as well, and just taking advantage of having an accent. When he rhymes like something with stomach, two words that just like inherently do not rhyme, but he just says summit
Something.
and stomach. It's just like that shouldn't work.
Only works
That's
for
so
him
good.
with that accent.
With that accent.
Yeah, just I don't know why I had to pull it back to that, but that like has stood out to me for years. Like it shouldn't work. Like English from year 8
It's so
tells you that
British.
that's not a rhyme. But anyway, I wish I could talk like that.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
good. It's that Steel City Sheffield voice, mate. The
Absolutely.
Steel City of England. It's kind of similar to Frank Ocean's album last week, Arctic Monkeys. This is where it's no,
Yeah.
not musically, lyrically.
So I can't wait to hear this.
In terms of where every song kind of puts you in the situation that he's writing it from, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
experience kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely.
That's definitely true. I think
Like just
That's
every
the best
single
bit
song.
about this album.
Yeah,
paints a
just
picture
slows
of
you
it. That's
down.
for sure.
Gives you like a first person view of just what's going on.
I love it.
crazy.
I love when I hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Did you wait one sec? Okay, the song "Barely Legal." I think it might be the third or fourth track.
Yeah.
Do Australian surf rock bands listen to the Strokes? Is that where they get their influences from?
You can, that's where the parallels are for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
crazy,
That's
hey?
a Skeggs song. Like Skeggs took their whole discography from Barely Legal.
Yeah,
Like,
there's-
it's crazy.
I
I
think
never
surf
even
rock's
noticed
just
it.
evolved from just like indie rock, and that's just where it's come from. I think.
They're
Yeah,
like,
this- you can
so
definitely hear the
surfy.
Skeggs and all this,
Yeah, every like
but
Australian
it's not.
surf rock.
But like, it's not surfy at the same time.
No,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But it's just like that kind of vibe, like upbeat kind of. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but when you listen to it, you can't not notice it.
It's almost like it's got one like toe planted in like blues, and that's kind of where it comes from. Like everything's inspired by blues. I get
The
that.
guitars,
I learned that in year 7, but like it's that really like almost like predictable formula of just how a song's gonna go, like with the middle 8 and stuff. But also, I don't know, and I could definitely see why Skeggs would kind of pull from that. Also, because it's one of the best albums of all time. You could debate, and let's make a podcast about it.
There probably is like a what's the word? Dedicated Strokes podcast out there. So shout out to them.
For sure. I reckon.
Yeah,
Arctic Monkeys
good
as
friends
well.
of the show. Yeah,
We'll get him on next time.
Come on the show, legit. I was gonna say how good at like downstroking on the guitar would you have to get if you're in the Strokes? Hey, they're so just like
Have
like
you seen
down to a
like?
T. It is
I
crazy.
mean, everyone's probably seen a video of the Strokes, but Albert Hammett Jr. like guitar up around his neck, just like the whole time. It's insane. Like his wrist and arm and everything were just God.
I read
They're unreal. They drive this album.
I read somewhere that Albert, he didn't play guitar before like starting in the Strokes, basically. I think he was like friends with Julian, and Julian played guitar and just like taught him like bits and pieces, and then he just became
Maybe that's just all he knows. Just like downstrokes.
Yeah.
Crazy. But he's like so iconic now, like all of his riffs.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
God, yeah.
Yeah. All the guitars in that
That's my
album I
favorite
love.
part about the album for sure.
Did you notice that in Someday the guitar like bends out of tune? Didn't
Like
notice
throughout
that.
the song.
It's kind of like a whammy bar. What are the things on the
Whammy.
guitars that you're like? God,
it a-
I play guitar.
It's definitely whammy bar, like a tremolo bar or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
it goes like every
Yeah.
single one. I
like
put
the
it on
actual
vinyl
riff.
and I was like, what the hell?
The riff
Crazy.
itself. The beam, that bit.
I don't know.
Okay. That was just a setup to make me do that. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the whole album, basically, that Strokes album is just kind of, you have the drums that lay like the most basic platform, like super simple, and it just lets the guitars do their own thing. And they're panned either side so heavily, so you can kind of hear both at all times. And I think that comes off the drums, to be honest with you. And that's not a drummer saying that. I just think they're so like, just like such a bass line underneath everything else that it lets the guitarist do like two completely separate things. It's
Well, that's
beautiful.
that's another thing the Arctic Monkeys pulled from the Strokes, the panned guitars and playing two completely different things, which is like
Great.
the best part about the Arctic Monkeys' first couple of albums.
Like on The View from the Afternoon.
Yes.
That-
yeah.
That's still probably my favorite part of the album. Even though like I've
crazy.
probably always said that since I was a kid, but it's still so sick.
God, it's such a cool thing to do in the early 2000s. Like, Block
yeah.
Party loved that as well.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
Banquet by Block Party.
yeah,
Like,
the whole song.
is the View from the Afternoon. They're the same thing. Let's pull that bridge and intro out. So good.
Absolutely.
Really sick.
Exactly. It's so
Should we
good.
get into the segments, or you got any more to add?
I was going to ask you, Darren. Do you
Yeah.
reckon, like, say you had a gun to your head, someone had a gun to your head, and they were like, you got to play the drums to the first Arctic Monkeys album, like 75% on Guitar Hero drums. Do you reckon you could do it?
75% on Guitar Hero drums.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
On
you got to be
Guitar
able to
Hero?
play it to like 75% accuracy.
oh,
No, but like real drums. Do you
okay.
reckon
To
you
be
could do
honest
it?
with you, I've heard it that many times. I feel like I've visualized what I'd need to do. So
Yeah, I feel like I could like get there as well if we
Yeah.
had a gun to my head.
like I know
I think
full well
that's
that
just like, yeah.
like the
This is
structure
just such
would
an
come
album
to you.
that yeah, exactly, yeah. It's such an album that like, even like obviously from playing drums, like you just get it. I reckon if you had a gun to your head,
Yeah,
because it's just like, everything's so perfect and like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. He's just
Yeah,
such
for
a good
sure.
drummer, I reckon.
oh, it's apparently this
And like,
album
it's
was
also
him-
memorable as well. I think.
yeah.
I don't know
The-
how like, yeah.
The album apparently like is Matty Helder's at that time in his career like going 100% like as hard as he could. That's apparently what the producer told him. It's just like this album you just need to just go for it like over drum, and he did it, and it's just like the most perfect balance of just being silly and good at the same time,
Yeah.
which is very hard to achieve.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it is like on the spot as well with these live recordings. Like he would have changed up the feels like
Yeah,
every track which like makes it even more impressive, I reckon.
Yeah.
Kind of made me sad with their latest album that there just was not nearly as much drumming involved.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I was-
think that's why like people, or at least I don't like the new albums as much because it loses that.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite thing about the first, like, and favorite Worst Nightmare as well.
Oh yeah,
The
absolutely.
like drums on both those albums are crazy. So
Blistering.
But gun to my head, I couldn't drum at all, to be honest with you. I'd probably be crying. So, answer your question, not at all.
Alright.
Before we do move to the segments, Darren, is this your favorite Arctic Monkeys album, or are you? I've heard that you could be an AM kind of guy. Is this true?
AM for me, I feel like I remember specifically not going to school in year 10 and listening to AM while playing FIFA, maybe like 2 days a week, just that album over and over and over again. So that was like that was the first time I saw Arctic Monkeys was touring that album. So that means a lot to me. But favorite albums, favorite Worst Nightmare.
yeah,
And then
same.
occasionally
Yeah, right.
Humbug just sneaks in there and goes, I'm a little bit more moody. And I go, I appreciate you for that. And it's kind of like it's basically how many albums they got? Like 5, 6? It's a 6-way
Yeah.
battle at all times. Apart from Suck It and See. Never really got behind that one. So
Really?
Yeah, I love Suck and See.
Yeah,
I've past like year or so, I've really come around to that album. I think it's.
I would
brilliant.
take it over Humbug.
Yeah,
I'll
same.
say.
I'd probably
would
put
I.
it just above Humbug in my
I
list.
have left the call.
Go to break.
And here's a message
yeah.
from our sponsor, Genius.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's great.
AM, good shout.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's get into the segments. First one's up. Let's do
Get inked.
now, Darren.
Yes. Oh,
Get Inked is where we're going to make a couple of tattoo ideas, one from each album with the lyrics or something to do with them. Would you like to go
Yeah.
first?
I absolutely do.
right.
So this one comes straight from, obviously, the Arctic Monkeys album, The View from the Afternoon. Now, in terms of placement, I want this lower back, like just above like the butt crack type of region.
Tramp stamp.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was an appropriate thing to say, but that exact thing. And I want like the cheesiest basically word art, but 1980s like dodgy, weird like B grade film font. And the lyric is "Tonight there'll be some love."
Yeah. That's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
disgusting.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's so good. Did you have
sure.
one for the Strokes?
I just think, I think 2013, I think like black and white Tumblr photo, and it's just like maybe on like the inside of the wrist, just is this it? And it'd be so moody and so shit and age so badly. But yeah, is this it? Full stop.
Nice.
Brilliant. Mine from the Strokes is okay. So the whole album kind of gave me like a 1950s kind of like everyone dancing at the ballroom kind of vibe, especially the song "Someday." So
Yeah.
it's just like those emojis of the guy and the gal dancing. She's got the long dress on. He's got like
Yeah,
rolled up
yeah.
sleeves. They're just swinging and grooving, and underneath them in like a sunset font, it's like it says "Someday."
Oh
Nah.
god.
Yeah, that would be on the thigh actually. I'm gonna do it on the thigh tab.
Oh,
From Arctic
yuck.
Monkeys, yeah. From When the Sun Goes Down. She don't do major credit cards. I doubt she does receipts. It's like a receipt roll, like just like the receipt paper, and instead of like the numbers and price, it has the track listing of the album.
oh,
Oh yeah.
That would be
That's
on
pretty
the calf.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
right.
nice.
A Ford Mondeo card, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get mine, or I'm usually alright with these, but this week was a struggle. I've just got for Arctic Monkeys, just like an English paddy wagon in like a cartoon, like something to go along with like a bunch of other tats on like your leg or something, like
Yeah.
like a right van.
Oh yeah,
It's
cool.
like a cartoon, something to fit in with like a collage of other tats. I think that would be something kind of cool.
Yeah,
And
no,
then for for the Strokes, it's like it's like promises they break before they're made. I was singing like a handshake, but it's like with two hands made of glass, and they're like cracking, and it's
That's
really
pretty
really
cool.
bad. I'm really really sorry, boys. about that one.
That wasn't that
That's all
bad at all.
Oh, fine.
Right van's actually quite nice, like to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. With a
I've
man with
definitely
lots of
said
tats,
worse on this podcast.
maybe. Yeah.
Adam?
Mine for Arctic Monkeys is trash as well, but it's just the red light indicates doors are secured. There's a like in the British taxis that's on like a little square sign on the doors, and it's hard to explain, but it is actually very nice looking. I'll send it through in the chat, but so just that sign basically.
I know the one.
And then for the Strokes, I had Julian from last night. It's Julian giving the finger to his girlfriend, grandsons, himself, and a spaceship, saying, "You don't understand," from the chorus.
That's crazy.
Complex.
That was like a mural.
That's a back piece for
That's
sure.
a back, yeah. Most of mine are usually like back pieces. They're up
Body tat.
Yeah. They're big.
Nice. They were all actually not as bad. Brad, yours were fine. I like
Yeah.
the ride. man.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's do the fattest riff. All right. Fattest part of the album, favorite part of the album. Darren, what do you got?
So just because I feel like copyright may come in hard, but you can't actually like chop in the riff, can you?
We can potentially
Hey, we
work
can
our
find
way
a
around it.
karaoke version. Karaoke versions are always
Yes, that's hilarious.
So-
That is so
Yeah.
funny. So I feel like mine comes from Trying Your Luck, like from the Strokes album, Trying Your Luck. A minute 4 seconds in, it's just like this. It's just this riff. Like I feel like it's almost like a Metallica style riff. Like if you just kind of change that production a bit, it could literally slot into any like power metal song ever. But because it's like this little ditty, like guitar around the neck, like you're playing a Strat, and it's like you've got the tone and everything right. It's just like this beautiful, powerful riff moment in like an indie rock album, and I think it's really, really nice. Also, like one of the like strongest moments on the album. I can't remember the riff off the top of my head, but I wrote it down specifically.
It's like
You
this.
just need to listen to it. Yeah, it's just yes.
I could definitely have some like metal lyrics over there.
Absolutely, just like
Definitely.
thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about After Monkeys, Darren?
So this kind of, I feel like this riff kind of is the theme of the album. Like it sets up, when you think the Arctic Monkeys, you think of this, and it's when the sun goes down, you know, the like, please put in a karaoke version of that. That'd be so funny.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's
do that.
everything that album kind of stands for. It's like, once again, like it's something single coil where it doesn't really handle the distortion too well. And it's just like this really fat, like little ditty, like single note thing. It's basically like the whole album summed up in like a 10-second little bit. Yeah, and then the guitars drop out and the bass keeps doing it. Like that is for me, that's the album. When the sun goes down, that part of it.
Yeah.
53 seconds in.
Beautiful. Mine from the Strokes was, I had two actually. It was either from like the bass line in Is This It, the first track, when it just comes in.
Yeah.
Do,
It's like-
do,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's cool. And then also the bridge of Barely Legal, where it's just the guitar and drums, and it's like it's dope. I like that part. And then Arctic Monkeys, it's pretty much the whole second half of Red Lights Indicate Jaws Are Secured, like from the guitar solo, and then it just like, it's kind of like a low key moment, but I love that part. I love that song as well.
What's happening
It's
in
a
that?
great song.
It's like the guitar solo, and then it drops down. It's like, and then it goes back to just that riff.
That is such like a like you're creeping through the halls of a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a
Octopusing. All right, Brad.
Okay, for the Strokes, I had in Hard to Explain, where it just like has that big gap. It's like, you're right, it's true.
That was the same as mine. I had
yeah.
exactly the same
It
bit.
takes like 3 or 4 seconds to come back in.
Yeah.
I love that bit. And because it's just got like that kind of drum machiney sort of drums. Yeah, like,
Yes,
there's no
if you-
cymbal or anything to bring it all back in. It's just
It just comes back in.
straight in.
It's
sick.
moody. To me, that is so moody. Like to not even
Yeah.
like offer a symbol to welcome people back to the riff. It's just like,
Legit.
nah, we're back now. Like, yeah. It's great.
The goddamn attitude.
Yeah,
again.
the
Yeah.
nerve on these guys.
Yeah.
Legit. And for Arctic Monkeys, I had the Perhaps Vampires is a bit strong, but bridge.
Yeah,
Of course.
When he's playing like that.
The
like
maracas. Is it a tambourine
yeah.
or maracas or something? Yeah. So
Yeah,
good.
it goes
Those,
full
like,
like jungle.
African
Yeah,
Tommy things,
Yeah.
yeah. And he
Adam?
has those big feels.
Well, my one for the Strokes was exactly the same. That the bridge or the pause between the chorus and the verse in Hard to Explain.
Yeah.
Which is I'm a sucker for a pause. I think we've had a few in the albums that we've done, and it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's pretty gimmicky, but I
Less is
love
more.
it every time.
Don't play,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
better.
even though they're obviously playing to a click, it just makes them seem really impressive that they all come back in.
And it makes so much it's so easy, so simple.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense. But
Yeah.
like you wouldn't
Yeah.
think to do it if you were writing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for Arctic Monkeys, I think I've said this to the boys before, but in Fake Tales of San Francisco, when everything just gets like a bit louder, like during it just, I don't know how they
Oh,
did it.
yeah.
I think they just put the mix up and it just gets ridiculously fat.
No, that
the
I
very end.
literally tried to. That's kind of coming up. I won't even give that away. But like in my blatant Arctic Monkeys ripoff band, that moment at the end of that song is just like so. It's like chaotic and just like. It's just like guitar,
Yeah.
like four
Yeah.
different levels of guitar come in. It's honestly the moment of the album.
It is,
Anyway.
yeah. That's definitely my favorite part. There you go.
That's sick. All right, what songs we given the add into our playlist? Which Darren, you can find. Actually, Darren, you use Apple Music, don't you?
I'm a Spotify person, so
Oh,
don't
Spotify.
don't ever say the
lovely.
A word again.
Well, our boy Adam Lindsay is a Apple Music.
I
person.
was. I'm now Spotify as well.
Oh,
Whoa.
cool. You're not a degenerate anymore.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Find our
Apple
playlist.
obviously sponsors of the show. Thank you, Apple.
Yeah. So thank you, Apple.
For the free
and
IMAX,
Apple,
yeah.
I've had pros.
Recording right now. Yeah, find the playlist at the Record Royale ads. It's just got all of our favorite songs from the albums. Darren, what were your 2 top tracks of the week?
I was actually just about to go and follow the playlist, but so I'm gonna pop in Fake Tales of San Francisco, and for me, why it's just because if you're gonna be like, oh hey, there's this cool band called the Arctic Monkeys, you show them that because it kind of sets up. For me, that sets up their career. Like it's got like the oh no, I'm thinking of the museum riff, but it's got that. It's got that, yeah. It starts off with like a cheeky, like funky Maddie Helders feel, which is kind of like once again such a recurring thing through the album. Then it's got the single note riff. It's got like those nightlife lyrics with the English accent, and he's very charismatic. And then like it's just got the big like rock and roll anthem.
It's got
to
it all,
finish. Like
that's crazy.
get off, like I'm not sure what the lyrics are. It's like get off the bandwagon and put down
the handbook.
Yeah.
the handbook,
Yeah.
the
And
anthem,
that
the anthem.
song, he speaks about how people don't sing in their accents, and it's just like, oh yeah, he's singing in his accent. He's from Sheffield,
Absolutely.
Steel City.
And then like to cap off like every great song, it's got like the yeah. But like every song needs yeahs, and that song's got them. So
Yeah.
for me, that's like the ultimate early indie rock song. That's it. It's got everything you need. And then
Lovely.
from Is This It? I've just gone with this is heaps hard, like because the album's got so many moments on it, and so many like songs. But I feel like when I think of the Strokes, I think of the amount of times, like if I was at someone's house or at my house and we're about to go out.
Oh,
Oh, there he goes.
we just lost Darren.
That's so good. We'll bring him back in.
I hope he has his
Do you
recording.
reckon his phone ran out of charge?
Could have been.
I don't know.
Well. What happened there?
He's back.
Whoa.
That was so funny.
Phone
Yeah,
running out of charge.
I hit my like my social media limit of the day at 10:57 a.m. Awesome.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know how you're gonna get around that, but like at least
True.
that was
Are you still recording?
still recording. Everything's all good.
Okay,
it's
sweet.
just me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the modern age, like the upstrokes and everything like that, and then you got the upstrokes and you got the downstrokes underneath it. And then when I think of that, I think of like a live show from the Strokes, and it's just like Brazil, and everyone in the crowd's crying, and there's like a strobe light, and like your internet's cut to 240p, but it still works. And there's like some sound issues, and it's just like for me, that song's like there's stuff you can hear that's wrong with it, like production wise, but like it's just perfect the way it is. And that kind of sums up the album. It's like perfectly imperfect, and like the double time and like the normal like time change ups. Best drum beat of all time. Yeah. It just sets you up for like this like 35-minute album that's just like a full on just punch in the gut. It's great.
Lovely. That was beautiful. You
Damn.
picked up right where you left off.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Almost like I've got it written down. Yeah.
That's great.
Mine for the Strokes was the title track. Is This It? I thought every time I listen to the album, I really looked forward to listening to that first song. Like, it's pretty chill, and that when that bass comes in, I just love it. Like it stays on the same level the whole song, but I think it's really contagious kind of. And then Arctic Monkeys, I legit could have chosen any song, but I'm gonna do Red Lights Indicate Doors Are Secured because once again, same thing. This week, could not wait to listen to that song. So good. I love the guitar riff. It's very simple, and it's just like you're probably never gonna hear them play it live again, but
No.
I love it. It's a good song.
No.
Yeah, that's that. They're my 2 tracks going in the playlist. Bradley.
Nice. I had the Modern Age as well, Darren,
Yeah.
and you stole it from me, which is cool.
Yeah, it's all
But
good. No,
I feel like I could cry to that song. If you get me in a hard moment, I could definitely have a cry to that song.
Oh, like
Same with, and I'm gonna do Someday as well because I feel like that's the same thing.
yeah,
It's kind of
for
like
sure.
melancholic and like somber.
And like quick shout out
beautiful.
to Julie Jacqueline. Obviously a big fan of the show and her cover of that.
Yeah,
Really?
it's so
I've
good.
not listened to that,
is-
eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
Shit.
It's the thing about Someday is I would have picked it because it's definitely the cry moment of the album, but I think Julie Jacqueline does it better, and that's
There you go.
controversial. But like, to
Her
voice
version
and
is so
everything like
good.
that. Oh,
I'm gonna have to get on that. Where
Yeah.
have I been? And for the Arctic Monkeys, I had A View from the Afternoon because it is
Classic.
the most rocking song on there, and it is the funnest to play on drums as well.
Nice.
do you play drums?
No. I'm single.
Guitar
No.
Hero drums.
Yeah.
Adam.
My ad for Arctic Monkeys is From the Ritz to the Rubble, actually. Just because I
Yeah.
think it's,
Nice.
like we said before, there's a lot of, they're so good, like the lyrics are so good at really bringing you into the story, I think. And that song for me, I always can just really vividly picture what's going on. So yeah, I love that track. And then for the Strokes, I was going to say Someday, but I'll put maybe Take It or Leave It, maybe, just because I really like the chorus on that track.
Yeah.
And I do go back to that song a lot, even outside of this week.
Yeah.
That's, there you go. Take it or leave it.
I have a
also,
soft spot for that song because of when I
Yeah.
heard the Arctic Monkeys cover it.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, peak Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
There's this gig of the Strokes. It's like Lollapalooza in Chile, 2016 or something.
I think I've watched that whole
Yeah,
thing,
and
I'm pretty sure.
they do 5 encores.
Yeah.
Like, and they finish with Take It or Leave It. But like the
Whoa.
crowd is just so like clearly just coked up or whatever. They don't go away. They just stay there and keep begging for more music. And 5 encores speaks for itself. But they finish on that, and for me, that's kind of like it'd be a
Yeah.
good way to leave a Strokes gig.
Yeah, definitely.
In Chile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick. Hey, Darren, I didn't tell you about this last segment we got, but we got
dear.
one more segment. It's called Two Truths and a Lie.
Yeah.
I'm up for this week. I'm going to say 3 statements, and you 3, sorry, are going to have to guess which one is a lie. So 2 are true, 1 is a lie. All right. So all 3 of my statements relate to the band Radiohead and their relationships with the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys. Okay, so number 1, Julian Casablanca has said about Radiohead, I use their music to fall asleep to. I find it quite unappealing. It's just not my type. Number 2, Radiohead's Tom York said about the Arctic Monkeys, the fact that they are getting so much attention is because the music business is a bunch of idiots. Number 3, Albert Hammond Jr.'s dad has co-writing credits for Creep by Radiohead.
That third one could be true because I know his dad is a famous recording artist. I don't know what he did, but I reckon that could exist.
That's a pretty good shout. I feel like if you know he's a songwriter, let's go with that one. I think Tom York, he could come up with a better insult. Like I think he's a bit too smart to say like it was such a basic insult. Like I expected him to be a little bit more savage. Therefore, I want to call that one.
I think I've seen that.
Bullshit.
I'm pretty sure that happened. I think I've seen that fact somewhere.
Damn it! I thought Julian definitely would have said that about Radiohead though, but maybe he might like Radiohead.
He's already locking in an answer. Wow.
I don't know.
I'm going to say the first one is a lie myself.
Brad, you've been pretty quiet. Brad, do you have any queries about this?
Oh, really? Hey, they're both all pretty. They all speak for themselves, really. There's not too much to ask about it. Just got to figure out which one's a lie. I like the second one, Darren. You kind of sold me on it. So,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
go with
yeah.
that.
I'm gonna
I
say
think
the second
that's
one's a lie.
Come on. That's too easy.
Yeah.
So Brad and Darren, you think Tom York didn't say that about the Arctic Monkeys, and Adam,
Adam's
you
going to
think
win again.
Adam,
You
you
can
think
tell.
Julian didn't say that about Radiohead.
Yeah.
Adam is correct again.
Yeah.
Every week.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you,
Albert
Adam.
Hanneman Jr.'s dad does have co-writing credits for Creep, and Radiohead's
Yeah.
Tom York in 2007 did say that about the Arctic Monkeys.
I should be a
Dickhead.
detective. I should get
Yeah,
my
Adam, I don't think you've got one wrong.
My
like,
PI
legit. Have you got one
license.
wrong?
no. I just get to the
Crazy.
bottom of it. I can
So did
sniff
you
it
just
out.
come up with that Julian Casablancas thing? Was that just all you?
Yeah,
But-
I had one. I had one originally, but I changed it this morning. It was the one I had originally was Radiohead declined playing Glastonbury 2007 because they wanted to be the main headliner, but they didn't want to co-headline with Arctic Monkeys. And I
Oh,
thought,
that is so
I
funny.
think that would have been more believable.
yeah,
I reckon
that's
I would
all-
have believed
I
that.
think that now, but yeah.
one of
Oh,
us
well.
could have had the knowledge and just debunked that. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they were all good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was decent.
Once again, Adam gets it right. All right, time to rate these albums. We're giving them out of 10. Arctic Monkeys this week, it's going to be out of 10 red lights that indicate doors are secure. And
Yeah.
Strokes, it's going to be out of 10 New York City cops that ain't that smart.
Okay.
All right. Brad, do you want to go first?
No, not really. I don't have.
Should we start with Darren? Should we start with Darren?
Yeah, come on, Darren. You set the tone.
All right, so Arctic Monkeys, like, there's, I feel like there's different ways you have to view these albums. So for me, the Arctic Monkeys album is a very welcoming album. Off the bat, it's like, hey, come and join me, which isn't a red light. To me, it's like a green light. It's kind of like a come here. It's fast off the bat. It welcomes you in with open arms. Therefore, it's a just given how friendly the album is, how listener friendly it is, and just how much it means to me. I feel like that's like 9 red lights, but one of them's half working. So 9.5 red lights indicating the
Darren,
doors
we're going
are
to tell you
indeed
right now, we
secure.
don't do halves on here. It's either a
Oh,
9 or a 10.
no.
What are you giving it?
Oh, it's a 9. No album's
All right,
perfect,
okay.
unfortunately.
I thought it was going to be a 10. I was so excited.
The Strokes.
Wait, Darren, we'll do one album at a time.
Okay, all right.
Save your New York City cops that ain't too smart.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the Arctic Monkeys debut album
Do it.
I have not thought about this at all. I'm going to give it a
Do it.
9 as well. It's just like, I don't have really too many faults with this album, but I can't bring myself to give it a 10 because it doesn't make me feel the way that it used to when I was younger. And I'm taking my nostalgia goggles off.
Yeah.
It's still incredible, but yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. 9 red lights that indicate doors are secured.
5 years ago, maybe it's 10 red
Yeah.
lights.
Oh, it's a 10.
easy.
100%.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I'll do. I'm just gonna say a 9 as well. I feel like it's kind of hard to compare anything else against, or especially the Strokes, because we've built up so much XP with this album.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel 5 years ago, that's an 11. But like right now, I don't know. Yeah, we'll give it a 9.
Cool. Adam?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm a 9. For
Very
just the same
predictable,
reasons
aren't we?
as you guys were saying. It's like I wouldn't give it a perfect 10, but yeah, I definitely would have 5 years ago. But it's still
Pretty
like
damn close.
yeah, all the lyrics and stuff. You just like there's not much to understand. As Darren said, it's like pretty easy to get into, I think, and that's why so many people did. Like everyone our age basically has had a little Arctic Monkeys phase, I feel. So yeah, 9. There you go.
Cool. Too easy. All right. Now we can do the Strokes, Darren. What do you got? How to 10 New York City cops that ain't too smart. What is it?
I think this is like the perfect example of an album you have to like try. You have to put it on and you have to kind of, I don't know, really put yourself in the right frame to like the album. And once you do, it's probably one of the best albums of all time. Therefore, I think this is like 10 New York City cops.
Oh!
Yeah, and I don't throw around.
That's what I'm talking
ratings.
about.
For me, find a better debut album. This is it. I feel like. Is this it? Yes, it is.
Yes. The answer's yes. Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Nice. 10.
Like completely overstaffed. Like there's too many cops around. It's like kind of going to a festival. Far too many cops. Therefore, there's 10 of them.
Wow. I'm so happy. There's another 10 on the show. Man. See, this is the thing. This is the thing with this show. If we compared this album to like a different one, it would get really a lot higher because we're comparing to the Arctic Monkeys. I don't know if I can put it on the same level as. Oh, I probably could. And I will. I'm giving it 9 as well. I'm giving it 9. 9 New York City Cops. It's like, even when I haven't listened to this album in so long, I just know this album. I'm pretty sure if you put this on for the first time, you know all the songs anyway. Like, you just know them.
Yeah.
They're so good, and they're they're so catchy, and they're
So iconic.
a lot of them, most of them are timeless, I think. So, yeah, 9 for me as well.
Damn. Yeah,
Brad?
I think I'm going to do the same with those cops. Probably 9 of them. You know, this is a time when, like, new metal was all the shit, and indie rock was down the dumps, and it needed a revival, and they bloody did it.
Yeah.
And in such a fashion that's, like, yet to be done again. So, doing 9.
When you're talking these cops, like, I like to envision them. So how are they walking? Where are they walking? I see them on like a New York street, or maybe even walking down the road, like just complete shoulder to shoulder, blocking off the traffic. Just
Eating.
9 New York City
Yeah.
cops.
Yeah, eating donuts.
But yeah, eating
Oh.
donuts for sure. Or pizza.
Yeah.
And, like, in a shitty car chase as well.
When I was in New York, sorry, quick flex. When I was in New York, I legit saw like cops. There was like the smallest little protest, and they had full on like AR rifles. I was like, what? What is going on? So unfortunately, I'm kind of just I'm imagining those cops.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's kind of scary. It's kind of a
Scary
bunch of
cops.
scary cops. You don't want 10 of them. You don't want 10 of them.
I'm not that smart, so, you know, that's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Adam.
I'm also going to give it a 9, which is
Oh.
pretty annoying because we've all like said the same thing. But yeah, I think the lyrics on the Arctic Monkeys album is better, but I think that on the Strokes album, it's just like overall aesthetic, like it's
Yeah.
pretty unique, and it just like I don't know, it just the tones and stuff are so beautiful. I think, and I think Julian is the king of vocal melodies. Like he's got so
Absolutely.
many.
Didn't talk about that.
Yeah, every song, I've said this to Brad before, I think you'll like hear the first like verse or whatever and you'll go, oh God, that was like good. And then it just keeps getting better and better and more catchy as you get
Yeah.
to the chorus. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Just
9
hook
for me
after
as
hook.
well.
Yeah.
I feel like Is This It is going to age better. There's no like
Yeah,
references to
definitely, for
time
sure.
or like
Crazy.
technology. It's going to be like a timeless piece of art. That's why it gets
sure.
10 for me.
Yeah.
The Arctic Monkeys is very much stuck in the mid 2000s or early 2000s, whenever it came out.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
why I think I like Suck It and See, because I think that's gonna that
Age a
won't
bit better.
age to me. Yeah, like that's just gonna keep going, getting better and better. But we're not talking Suck It and See. I am surprised by this result. The Strokes, Is This It, gets the dub. 37 out of 40 to 36 out of 40. Another very, very, very
Jeez.
close one.
A landslide.
Crazy.
Could've gone either way.
I think Alex
Yeah.
Turner would agree. I think he'd say, yeah, that is the album. So I think we've made
Another
the right
friend of the
choice.
pod.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably listening right now.
Yeah.
Actually,
He should
Adam,
come
I
on the
just
show.
spoiled that. He's coming on in a couple of weeks.
Oh, too easy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I emailed him the other day. It's sweet. And then Josh Homme's
he's
coming
free.
on. Alrighty, the Strokes wins. Crazy. That was fun.
Damn.
That was good.
Darren,
Yeah.
for the people who obviously cannot see, which is everyone, Darren's got his, what year is that? Newcastle Knights jersey. Is that
Specifically
2012?
2008.
2008.
Yeah, this is.
I
this
love
is-
it.
I'm pretty sure it's a dark year. Maybe in the first year without Andrew Johns.
It was indeed the first
Yeah.
year without Joey.
Rough.
But yeah, but they came back
Oh,
last week.
12
They
years
just
later.
survived. Yeah, it was a slow rebuild.
This year, I haven't
They're
been.
back, though.
I don't think I've ever been so excited about footy. Just
Save
because
that for
they're
the
going,
footy
reasonably
pod.
well.
There you go. So the second hour of this podcast is just rugby league chat. So
Oh, yeah. We're
I am
shifting
100%
into
Let's keep
keen for that.
going.
the
anyone who
night
cared
game.
about the music has just turned off. Like, yeah.
No, we'll wrap this up. Next week on the show, we have another beautiful guest joining us. Cody, the singer and guitarist from Sydney rock band Down for Tomorrow, is coming on, and he's talking with
Hell
us.
yeah.
Another couple of classics, in my opinion. Green Day's Dookie album, Dookie, and Enema of the State by Blink-182.
Oh,
Hot damn.
Jeez.
Another
What a
fun
show.
week of listening. I'm very
Yes.
excited.
Will be good.
Hopefully it's
We're
not too
doubling up on the
predictable
guests.
like this week, though. Dear God. 9's going everywhere. The only thing that changed the result, Darren, was your beautiful 10.
I'm absolutely fine with that as well.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Justified
happy.
and
Yeah.
correct.
I'm happy about it. Get in touch with us on the socials at Record Royale. I'm sure you can find Darren James on there somewhere as well. whatever his handle is. But yeah, follow us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Get in touch with the polls. Let us know if we cooked it or if we got it right. Next week, Cody from Down for Tomorrow is coming on. Darren, thank you so much. You've been brilliant.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Yes, I've had so
We're
much
getting you
fun.
on again.
Hopefully see you soon.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.